Is the PPP and EIDL enough? Today I'm going to talk about how forecasting can help save your business. First, I want to give you a quick update about the PPP. Yesterday I made a video about the House proposing a bill to give more flexibility to the PPP. Well, the bill passed the House yesterday, so we're waiting on the Senate now, and if it successfully runs through the Senate, then it's going to become law, and that would be great. Also, I wanted to take a second to ask you to please subscribe to my channel because I will be keeping you updated with important information around this crisis and among other things too. So please subscribe. Please hit that like button. You can gently caress the like button until it turns blue, whatever the hell you want to do. But thanks for your support so far. I appreciate it. So, quick overview of the PPP. It is meant to last 8 weeks originally. I know they're proposing to change that, but the amount of money that you're getting is meant to last 8 weeks. And then the EIDL, it's harder to tell how long that's supposed to last you because that really depends on your business and what you're going to use the money for and all that stuff. So you have the PPP and the EIDL loan programs from the SBA. Is that enough money to help your business survive this pandemic? That I can't really tell you for sure, but I want to give you the tools so that you will know if it's going to be enough. And that tool is called forecasting cash flow. Forecasting cash flow is very important. Even outside of a crisis, you need to know how to forecast your cash flow so you know how your business is going to be doing in the future, or at least you can predict as best as you can how it's going to be doing. And that way you can take proactive steps to meet your goals. So forecasting is going to take a lot of thinking, a lot of predicting on your ends, and the predictions are not always going to be correct. A lot of speculating, it just forces you to think more critically about what you think is going to happen. So in terms of this crisis, you got to think about, in your location. Don't worry about the US, don't worry about the world, but in your city, in your county, think about like what the number of cases are looking like right now, how the trend is looking. Is that going to result in another shutdown, or is it going to result in your current shutdown being extended? Those kinds of things all play a role in your forecast. If your county is back open for business and you're seeing more people out, what's the likelihood of another shutdown happening? Well, it might be likely. If we're looking at historical pandemics that have similar contagion, like the Spanish flu, there was a second wave of infections that was much, much worse than the first wave. Just think critically, take all the information that you can get, think as best as you can about how to apply that information to your business and how to forecast. Another thing that can affect your forecast is business seasonality. Like for my company, we do taxes. So typically February through mid-April, our revenue is like, woo! And then other times throughout the year, it starts to even out a little bit, and it starts to pick back up in September and October for the extensions. So think about seasonality for your business because that can affect your cash flow as well. So how do you forecast? You want to start with your bank account balance right now, because the goal of this forecast is to make sure you go through each month, between now and the end of the year, go through each month by month, and make sure you don't have a negative balance at the end of each month. To do that, you start with your current bank balance. Today is May 29th, so let's just say at the end of May what your bank balance is, and you're going to start forecasting in June. So for June, your beginning balance is the same as your May's ending balance of cash, and you start with what cash inflows you expect to make. So if you got the PPP loan, that would be considered an inflow. If you haven't applied for it, we'll talk about that later. Or if you're expecting to make some revenues, you have to forecast how much revenue you think you're going to make. So if your business is completely shut down, it's obviously going to be zero. All right. If you're a restaurant and you're doing takeout only, well, you might be operating at limited revenue right now since you don't have your dining room open. So it's your time to really think about how much revenue you think you're going to make each month. Okay, you start with June, then go to July. If our business is going to be back up and running in July, well, then your revenue might be more close to normal in July. It probably won't be right back to where it was before the crisis, but it'll be closer to normal. Or do you think your stay-at-home orders will be extended? Well, then that might affect your revenue there. So you start with all your cash inflow items, okay? And then go down to your expenses or all your cash outflows that you have to do, like rent or salary or utilities, or you have like debt that you have to make monthly payments on. Those are all cash outflow items. Start with all your fixed expenses and fixed outflows. Those are the easiest to predict, obviously. And then go to variables after that. Sometimes your variables are based off your revenue, kind of like credit card fees, or kind of like cost of goods sold, or inventory that you have to buy. That is based on your revenue. Do your best there, make your predictions, do it by month, each month. So you take your cash inflows minus your cash outflows, and you have your beginning bank balance there in June. So at the end of June, you see, do you still have a positive balance in your checking account? If so, then that's good. You're not underwater yet. So the goal is to do this for each month, and then you look at your sheet to see if any month has a negative bank balance. And if it does, then that's an opportunity for you to figure out how to get more cash inflow either by that month or on that month or whatever it is. But now you can know for sure, let's say in August, if this scenario happens in August, my bank account is going to be negative. So what can I do ahead of time to mitigate that? If you haven't applied for the PPP, maybe then would be a good time to do it, or to do it now to help mitigate that negative balance. Or it might force you to think creatively on how to increase your revenue. As many businesses are doing during this crisis, they've thought really creatively to figure out how to make more money, or at least to keep their revenue up to speed to what it was before the crisis. Forecasting is an excellent tool. It is used by successful business owners because it's basically taking control of your business. So I'm going to promote my own business and services real quick, and I promise I'm not going to do this often. Okay, it just seems really relevant to what we're talking about. So our company is doing advisory and consulting for forecasting for our clients, and it is a high investment, high value service. Our clients are paying a lot for that. And we realize there's a lot of companies out there that probably can't afford to pay our high advisory fees. So we created an online program that helps business owners with forecasting, among a lot of other things. But the main thing here is we pretty much are teaching business owners how to do their own forecast. And then business owners will have access to me and my team for support. And this program is offered at a much lower price than our advisory work. So if you're interested in that, check it out in the description below. I'll have a link to it. That's all I have to say about that. I promise I won't do that too often. It feels like my company is sponsoring my own video, so I don't know what that's about. But you know what? It just happens. So anyways, back to forecasting. It's a really important tool to use even outside of this crisis. It's important for your business to be able to set goals and make plans. It's important for you as a business owner to have awareness and consciousness over your financials. And that's really important because you have to have that in order to make good decisions. And it's also important to keep in mind that you can't just create a forecast one time and then never look at it again. Like, oh, yep, I got it done. I'm good. Let's keep moving forward. That's not how that works. What you have to do is create your forecast, look at it constantly, because you will have to make corrections and changes. It's okay to make changes to your forecast as new information comes to you, but it's also important to keep up to date with your forecast to make sure you're meeting your targets, to make sure you're meeting your revenue targets or your expense targets. It's really important to just constantly be checking in on it and making course corrections if you need to. That's all I got for today. Thanks for checking in. Please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And if you can smash that like button, I would really appreciate it also. Have a good weekend, everybody. I don't think I'm going to make any videos this weekend because I need a break. But have a good weekend. Take care. I'll see you soon.